Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Even Lease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, I have the RELIANT TANA, which is right behind me. Let's go ahead and take a look. Welcome back, everybody, to another video of mine on another Reliant variant ship. This one is the Tana, which is the light fighter variant of the Reliant series. Now, this ship does have a little bit more DPS than the core, but some of its other stats really don't differ too much. It's more or less about the interior of the ship, which we'll get into pretty quickly. Before I do want to thank everybody so far that has entered into the giveaway for the SYULEN. And again, Cloud Imperium Games, thank you so much for giving me that opportunity to give back to my fans. You guys are amazing. My viewers deserve it, absolutely. So thank you again. Now, getting into this ship here, starting price of $75 if you were to buy it on the Pledge store, and a in-game price of $1,984,500 aUEC. You can buy that in Lorville. Now, that is not a bad price at all for a Pledge or for a in-game price. Obviously, I mean, it just depends on what you're looking for, but this ship just has very unique elements about it. And first and foremost, I'm going to actually talk about those unique elements. As you see on screen, this ship's wings can rotate, giving it a completely different silhouette and, you know, allowing for a little bit of a, you know, different tactic, I guess, or style of play. But honestly, I don't think it changes too much. It's just more, you know, an aesthetic. Now, when you do rotate those wings, as you can see here, the cockpit does close, so you cannot leave your cockpit seat, and your co-pilot cannot leave their seat. So if you want to go get a drink or something, you will have to put those wings back into their normal position. Now, you can fly in either way, or you can use your jump drive in either way. Now, CIG has made that completely independent of all ship systems. All you got to do is hit left Alt and K, and you can switch the way those wings are. You can also shoot your guns from both positions, so that's pretty cool. Now, starting off with that, you do have 708 DPS stock, and that's a pretty good amount of DPS. It comes in about 4th with all the ships that I've reviewed so far in 3.23, which isn't bad at all. And something you have to know about that DPS is it comes with 2 size 2 CF227 Badgers on the underwing, and then on the end wings here, they have 2 size 3 CF337 Panthers. Now, that's a pretty good size weapon, and the capacitors are definitely not bad, but you can actually swap this gun out for a Tashima turret and put 2 size 2 weapons on here and on the other wing. Now, doing so doesn't really change the DPS too much depending on what weapon you use, but it just depends. You know, if you use ballistic Gatling guns, it'll definitely increase your DPS, but with a limited lifetime, of course, because of ammo count. Now, it just really depends on what type of weapons package you're looking for. That's definitely something you'll have to explore. Outside of that, it does come with 16 size 2 Strike Force 2 missiles, 4 size 2 Ignite 2 missiles, which are really good amount of missiles for a starter light fighter from MISC here, especially since it looks super sleek. It's a very sleek looking ship from this view, so when you are fighting a target, there's not much to hit, but if you let them on top of you or below you, then you're definitely a big target, so be very careful of that. Now, outside of shooting in this ship, you do have 3,000 shield strength, and it is a bubble shield. As always, the bubble shield means when you get hit, it takes from the entirety of the shield. After that, you do have 14,860 health points. That actually is a little bit less than the core, which, you know, not surprising, right? I guess since it's a light fighter of nature, it's supposed to maybe have a little bit more heavy armor, but a little bit less health points. Someday, I don't think health points will be a thing, so it just all depends on how much armor your ship has and how much can penetrate and what can't. Outside of that, you do only carry 1 SCU of cargo, so if you're looking to do major cargo runs, this is definitely not the ship of choice. But unlike the core, this ship actually has a living studio within the ship. So, I know I said studio, but whatever. There's where your one SCU would sit on the broken plane of glass there. Obviously, they just have some shader issues with the textures in this ship. And then over here, you would have 2 beds for your crew, which is definitely something you don't have in the core. And then if you move on, you do have a restroom to the left with a toilet. And you can definitely open that. Pretty cool, pretty neat. And it also has a shower, so good to know. And then you also have a weapons rack, which is also very well needed in the Reliant core, but is available here. Now, I'm assuming this is some of your storage lockers. You can't access it, but that's probably where that's going to be. There's not much of an area for a kitchen either. Maybe that's also what that is. And then outside of that, you do have component access here, but it's just not accessible yet. This ship definitely needs a components pass and definitely needs a gold standard pass, which it hasn't gotten at this point. Someday, maybe. Now that the Freelancer got a, components pass, maybe we'll start seeing a lot of these ships, get what they need. Now, this ship does have a max speed of 220 SCM, 480 forward boost, 250 rear boost, and 1,150 max nav speed. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not great. Is it going to be outrunning some other, starter ships and whatnot? No, it's not. And, it just depends on what you're looking to do, but that's okay, right? Now, outside of that, you do have 612 quantum fuel, so it's definitely not a terrible ship in any regard. It's got pretty good firepower, a lot of good missile firepower. Your average shield size of 3,000 bubble shield, 14,860 health points, 1 SCU cargo, and a pretty good amount of speed, just not the best. Now, let me see, where do I close the door? Here it is. Perfect. I've closed the door. Now I'm going to go ahead and take off here and give you an idea of what this thing looks like when you do lift off. Go ahead and raise that gear. And you can, as you can see here, something I didn't tell you quite yet, it does have a VTOL thrusters. So if I were to press K, this would help you land in certain situations. Now, outside of that, you just press K again and you're ready to go forward, backwards, whatever you need. Let's go ahead and hit that booster and get on the way. This is definitely not a terrible ship. It's got some really decent launch speed, and its maneuverability is really well, especially at its SCM. I just turned around completely, no problem. In some ships, you'd be falling into the moon at this point. There's not much Reliant series ships out there in the verse being flown by people, and there's a big reason for that. This ship has been plagued by bugs multiple times. In every single patch that has ever come out, typically this ship gets broken. But recently, it's had a lot of work to make sure that doesn't happen. So, as of right now, the ship is working. It shoots all its weapons, it fires its missiles, doesn't seem to have much for issues, so get in while you can and have fun with it. Because, trust me, it is actually a really cool ship, especially when you do something like this. That is just super cool. I know you can't get into the rest of your ship when you do this, but seriously, that is just something else. I wish more ships had some neat little, aesthetic features like that. Understandable, it'd be weird to see a reclaimer fold in half, but it would be quite interesting. Now, outside of that, I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video so far. I am recovering from pneumonia. I'm still recovering. It seems to be coming back for round 2 right now. My child came home sick from school before school ended for the year, and it just seemed to pass on to me quite quickly, so really appreciate that. I also got a new microphone, so I might sound a little bit different, or, better, worse, I'm not sure yet, but that's why I'm here to test it on this video, while also testing such a beautiful ship like this. As you can see, the cockpit is rotated right now. Pretty neat, pretty neat. Now, if I rotate that back, the interior view does change a little bit. Whoop. Hi, co-passenger, or co-pilot, and your interior is accessible. It is very cool, and I do really like the look of this ship. I think, there should be more starter ships that with this aesthetic appeal to it. There's just so much more that could be out there in terms of having such neat little features, even if they're pointless. Now, what would I give this ship in a rating? Obviously, it's definitely better than the core in the means of living and being able to fight. But is it good with cargo? No. But you know what? You go to a bunker, you do a delivery, you have some fun. This is a great ship. You can bring a passenger. You can bring a, co-pilot, a friend. You can do rescue ops. This is a great ship. This is absolutely an awesome ship. There's not really too much to hate on it. You know, it's got a low quantum fuel tank. Its top speeds aren't the greatest, but you know, outside of that, it's still a 9 out of 10. You know, it's just a fantastic ship with all its neat little features with the Xi'an engine tech, where they, you know, can move in omnidirectional type thrusters, which is really cool. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Let me know what you think of this ship down in the comments below. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.